Good morning, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. This is the Kehillat Shari Torah Halacha Minute for Monday, July 20th. Last couple of points to talk about Tisha B'Av. So we'll read it's a Baraisa, actually. I think it's mentioned in Masechta Tainus. We learned this a couple of years ago when we learned Tainus in our Tuesday morning class. It says in a Baraisa, it's a little bit of a history lesson and a reason for what happens at this time of year happens. It says on the seventh day of Av, the heathens entered the temple, the Beis HaMikdash. They ate and drank, and they wreaked havoc on the 7th and 8th days of Av. On the 9th day, towards evening, they set fire to the Beis HaMikdash, and it continued to burn throughout the 10th day until sunset. The reason the fast was not set on the 10th day, although the greater portion of the Beis HaMikdash, of the temple, was actually burned on the 10th, is that the beginning of a punishment is felt more severely. In Tainus, in the Yerushalmi, in the other version of the Talmud, the Jerusalem, the Palestinian Talmud, it says Rabbi Avin fasted on the 9th and on the 10th to commemorate the tragedies of both of those days. He did not have the strength to fast the entire 10th day, so he fasted for the night. So he fasted basically 2 nights with a day in between. For us, that's an awful lot to ask. Our strength is not what it was in earlier generations, so we're not going to ask anybody to fast a day and a half, or certainly not 2 days. So we fast on the 9th day, but we do retain the stringency upon ourselves that we don't eat meat or drink wine during the night of the 10th, nor on the 10th day until midday, unless it is a meal that's considered to be a mitzvah. So if by divine providence there should happen to be a bris or something like that, a pidyon haben on the day right after Tisha B'Av, so that's a sudas mitzvah, that's a mitzvah meal, and we could actually eat meat and drink wine. Otherwise, we wait just until midday. Also, the bracha shechianu still isn't said until midday of the 10th. We don't take a bath or a haircut or wash clothes until midday of the 10th. A person who imposes upon himself to observe all these restrictions for the entire 10th day of Av is praiseworthy, which is not mentioned in Mishnah Brura. This is something that the Shulchan Aruch mentions alone, on his own shoulders. If the 10th day of Av occurs on Erev Shabbos, you may bathe, you may take a haircut, and you may wash immediately in the morning in honor of Shabbos, which I believe is our situation this year. A woman who's given birth, although she fasts after 7 days after giving birth, fasts after for the first 7 days, she's considered as a person who's whose health is very fragile, so she should not fast for those first 7 days after giving birth. We said at the outset of our conversation about the laws of Tisha B'Av that a woman who gives birth, up until before the 2nd of Av, so it's already been a week until Tisha B'Av, so she is allowed on the night of the 10th to eat meat and drink wine if she so chooses. Okay, so there's another chapter about when the laws of Tisha B'Av come out on Shabbos or on Sunday, not applicable this year, so we will leave that for another year. We'll talk about a few items tomorrow that have to do with remembrance of the temple, remembrance of the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash. Tune in tomorrow and join us for that. Have a good day.